Welcome to FX Street. Today we're going to be talking about Terra LUNA Classic that might bounce this week, but the downtrend is still in play. But before we dive deeper into the technicals, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and follow us on FX Street under the crypto section to be updated on the hottest trends in the cryptocurrency space. And automatically, I would like to draw your attention to an article from one of my colleagues about whales that are pulling 4 billion stable coins out of exchanges. And the word stable coins because Terra LUNA Classic automatically linked with those stable coins implosion that we've had last year on the back of higher US rates. And it does not come as a shock because this week we've had a very seismic shock effect in terms of bonds. Not going to in too much detail. If you want to know more about it, there are plenty of pieces on our website. But you will see, or you can see that there is certainly some seismic shifts going on in the markets. You can see that with a big sell-off flight into bonds. Where central banks, both Europe and America, were set to hike several times more. That all has been priced out at the moment. So that means that suddenly there are no hikes foreseen anymore, and there are talks even of cuts. But yeah, that's the situation where we are now. And strangely enough, that means that something is cooking again for stable coins, because if with this volatility, they have a very hard time. And if a bank can come in distress on these current high rates, because, for example, in America, the current rate is at 4.75. There was a projection to go to 5 or even 6%. So if at 4.75, Silvergate Bank can already default, what's to say that there are any other banks that can default or stable coins? So another Terra LUNA implosion could be at hand, because we don't know how these guys are hedging themselves against these higher rates while they are holding bonds at a given price, while that price at the moment has been slashed possibly, I'm not going to say in half, but it's worth much less. So at the moment, they are sitting on quite hefty losses on the bonds that they are holding. So interesting to see how that story will develop, and that possibly confirms why Terra LUNA Classic is currently hammering, or sees bears hammering on this level here, 12.745, the low of December here, and then again the low of March here, where we already broke below the first week, but luckily got back up there. Pressure again now, so it looks almost inevitable that if one other domino falls, then we could see a full implosion here, because for sure then they will need to owe up to a few things. So a bit distressed there. To the downside, what can you expect? A sharp move lower here to the bottom here. You can see that with the low here of July and the low here of August in the summer. So that's roughly a 30% decline should another domino fall. And that is before we then go to the next level, and that will be roughly around here. So that's 50% to the downside. And I would see bets being placed to go to 4,400. So that's another 50% on top of that, should we see a very violent domino effect. Bounce to the upside, yes, sure, could be granted for this week. We see a little slightly positive. So some profit could be there. I would not get my hopes off of going all the way up to the 55. That would be a 24% upswing. I would not put my money on that. But at least, for example, the simple range trade back here to, let me throw a little line in there, this one here, because we've tested that already. We've been there already earlier this week. So what's to say if markets calm down a bit that we go back to there? So it's not uncharted territory. We've been there, and it's a sure thing then that we will be testing that, and that's okay, 7-8%. You could say that's very thin, but I would be more than happy to take that on if you are believing in a bullish outcome. So And anyway, doesn't mean you need to offload all your holdings there. You can simply do a fade in, take a sort of a 1/3 to take off here, keep another third then for the 55, and then the last leg for the 200 if you are more an investor type for longer term. But for now, keep your powder dry. Watch this level here and a break to the downside, because then things could start to get moving. And in the meantime, follow all the developing news on our website to be updated on what is going on in the bond market and in the banking sector, which is on fire at the moment. And that's it for Terra Luna for today. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at FX Street Crypto.